If you're looking to mine RAVENCOIN using simple mining OS and you don't really know where to start, you're perched on the right branch, because we're going to go step by step right after this. What's up, Savages? In this video, we're going to cover how to mine RAVENCOIN, which is one of my favorite projects. And instead of this being just a generic vanilla how to mine video, I'm going to kind of get in the weeds on what exactly RAVENCOIN is, because I think it's important for you to know a little bit more about the projects that you're supporting with your hash power. So if you're interested in just the mining part and you don't really care about what RAVENCOIN is all about, I left timestamps in the description so you can just jump to whatever you need to. And since we're using smOS or Simple Mining OS for this tutorial, I'm going to leave a little tip at the end, so be sure to stick around for that. RAVENCOIN is a Bitcoin fork peer-to-peer electronic system for the creation and transfer of assets using the UTXO model from Bitcoin. And UTXO stands for Unspent Transaction Output. Now, what does that mean? Well, they did a change to the original Bitcoin code to allow asset creation. The aim of the project is to create a blockchain optimized specifically for the transfer of assets from one holder to another. Currently, the assets capability only exists on their testnet, but they're getting ready to release it on their mainnet at the end of October. The assets feature is going to allow users to create and transfer assets using the immutability of blockchain technology. This is possible with other cryptocurrency projects like Ethereum and Bitcoin, but that is not their main focus. So this lack of specific targeted focus leads to problems when it comes to implementing asset management and transfer technology properly. Asset management and transfer is the main and basically the only focus of RAVENCOIN. Yeah, it's a currency as well, but the focus is on assets. Now, I do believe that RAVENCOIN has a bright future. It's just not one of the most profitable coins to mine at the moment. It uses the X16R algorithm, which is ASIC resistant at the moment. X16R is just 16 different randomized algorithms. It creates a problem for ASICs, but you can bet if there were enough profits to be made, they'd make an ASIC for X16R too. It seems like the intent of the RAVENCOIN team is to stay ASIC resistant or to stay off of ASICs. In their roadmap, they describe a situation where if there were ASICs created for X16R, that they would somehow modify the algorithm to include other functions within Equihash or something else. You know, they'll throw some different code in there to basically invalidate the ASIC's ability to mine that specific algorithm. And some really incredible news for RAVENCOIN fans that just came out recently is they're now listed on Binance. They are currently sitting at 2 cents USD, and their all-time high was around 6 cents USD. You know, so they definitely have some room to grow. I like supporting projects that I believe in with my hash power in the hopes that they'll increase in value over time. Since profits are so low, speculation mining is pretty much a necessity right now. But the folks that mined through the dips in the past came out on the other end in pretty good shape. All right, so let's get down in the weeds on RAVENCOIN a little bit. Class is now in session. So you can use RAVENCOIN to tokenize real-world objects such as automobiles, hardware, and collectibles to facilitate their transfer. You can do the same thing with digital assets such as licenses, in-game currency, and objects. It accomplishes this through blockchain assets and unique assets, or sub-assets. It costs 500 Raven to create an asset and another 10 Raven to create a unique asset. These Ravens are burned, meaning they are removed from the circulating supply of Raven and will not be replaced. To me, maybe I'm wrong here, I think 500 Raven to create an asset will impact the coin value. Let's say Raven went to just $2 USD each. I understand that's 100x from where it is now, which is awesome, but just hear me out. That would be the equivalent of 1,000 USD just to create one asset, and it would be 10 USD to create a sub-asset or unique asset. I'm saying asset, I'm probably meaning token right there. While this may work for large businesses, small ones probably won't be using RAVENCOIN for asset management. I think this cost will either push out the little guys or keep the value of Raven way down. Maybe they can change the asset creation cost in future updates if needed. And maybe the burning of the 500 Raven will also keep the cost up or value up. I don't know. And this is just a total personal opinion of mine, but I think that RAVENCOIN, they should probably rebrand to remove the coin, because the coin, to me, it kind of comes off as it being mainly a currency whenever that's pretty far away from their primary focus, which is for asset management. So maybe something like Raven would be better. I don't know. Tell me what you think. All right, so there are basically 4 different kinds of tokens. There's rewards, unique assets, voting, and messaging. Rewards allow you to distribute RAVENCOIN, RVNs, to the token holder. Unique tokens are used to provide proof of ownership. Messaging tokens are used for communications with the assets you hold or have transferred. And voting is a form of messaging that sends a voting token to the holder of assets so that they can respond with their vote. I really like analogies and examples and things like that. So here's a very specific use case scenario to hopefully explain the utility of RAVENCOIN. Imagine you had a crypto mining GPU hosting business called SavageMine, and your customers would either send you a GPU for you to host, or they would buy a GPU from you and you would host it. So you go to RAVENCOIN and you create an asset on the network called SavageMine. You could then assign a unique token to each GPU and issue that token to the user or the investor. And this unique token would include the GPU's pertinent information like make, model, serial number to identify the device that the user actually owns. So now let's say you build your rigs with 7 GPUs each. So you can have up to 7 users or investors per rig. Now using the messaging token and the voting token in RAVENCOIN, these investors could then vote each week on what coin the hash power of the rig would point to. When there are profits to distribute, the rewards tokens could then be used. So this is just one example out of many that you could come up with as a business to basically tokenize objects, real world and digital. It could be used for tokens, security tokens. There's just so many examples that you could use this technology for. The closest competitor to RAVENCOIN is Bidem, but Bidem is ASIC friendly, so fuck them. I can't get behind a project that goes straight for centralization. Since this tokenized asset management feature is going to be the main focus of RAVENCOIN, I really feel like they're going to be great at it. There are a lot of projects that try to do too much, and what ends up happening is they deliver a bunch of mediocre stuff that no one wants to use. Look, we all know what happens to those projects that lose focus. They end up having a bunch of deliverables that is something that we just can't stand behind. We can't, as the miners supporting the networks, we just can't get behind them. All right, so class is dismissed. Let's get to mining. The following process assumes that you already have a rig up and running and visible in the simplemining.net dashboard. As with any coin that you want to mine, there's basically 3 things that you have to have. You have to have a wallet with a receiving address that you're going to mine to. You'll also need a pool to mine to, and you'll also need a miner and the proper config for that miner. So I'd like to start off by creating a folder on the desktop for the project that I'm working on. We'll just call this folder Raven. Go into the folder, create a single file called, or a single text document called RVN mining info. And then open up the file. This is just a regular old text file. We're gonna put some information in here to keep track of things. We'll put the website, we'll put the Bitcoin Talk announcement thread, because we might have to reference those later. What wallet we're gonna use, the receiving address of the wallet, the pool that we're going to use. The port goes with the pool. Algorithm, we know that that's X16R. The miner that we're going to use for AMD, miner that we're going to use for NVIDIA, smOS miner options, the string, we'll have to do one for AMD. One for NVIDIA. And then we'll also go over some OC settings. Save that. The first thing you're going to need is a wallet so that you can generate a receiving address that you're going to mine to. For RAVENCOIN mining, I like to use the web wallet at POCKETRAVEN.com. I like to use POCKETRAVEN.com because I can easily check it from anywhere. And once it gets to a certain amount, like 1,000 Raven, I'll send them to my QT wallet. You could also just use the standard client-side QT desktop wallet to mine to as well. And they even have a new mobile wallet, but I don't know if you can mine to it. I might have to give that a try. I don't see why you couldn't. Kind of funny side note though, on the mobile wallet, you'll see the term Bitcoin where it should be saying RAVENCOIN. And head over to POCKETRAVEN.com. And then from here, you're just going to click Open a Wallet. And this is kind of tricky because if you read right here, it says the wallet is created based on the combination of the username and password you enter above. This means that you can create multiple wallets with the same username but different passwords. So think about that. If you type in your username here and let's say you type in the correct email address, okay. Now you type in any password, right? You type in, whatever you typically use. Then you come back to this site and you accidentally type in the wrong password. Then it's going to still create your wallet. So let's go ahead and document what we have so far. We have the website. Throw that in here. Didn't really cover the Bitcoin Talk thread, but basically you just go to Bitcoin Talk and go to search and then search for RAVENCOIN. And then you're looking for the announcement thread, ANN. And here you go, and there's a lot of information in here. We'll grab this. The wallet that we're using is the web wallet, POCKETRAVEN. Copy that, throw it in here. Let's go ahead and get a address in here because we need it to mine to. Highlight that and copy it. Paste it in here. The second thing you're going to need is a pool. You got to figure out what pool you're going to mine to. And because I want to support other content creators, we're going to use Subscriber Pool for this effort. So let's head over to Subscriber Pool and collect the information that we need from there. So this is Subscriber Pool. It's just a YIMP-based pool. Go ahead and document that. We see over here that it's going to be port 3636 here. And technically this right here is just the pool's website itself, so we need to actually get the actual pool address. So let's go over here and we're gonna, it already has Raven selected. We're gonna be using the ZEnemy miner, and we'll just throw a generate in here. And then this is gonna be our string miner options here. So our pool address is actually this right here. And that's with the port. We'll just throw that into our documentation. And the third thing you're going to need is the actual miner itself. For SimPleMining OS, there's quite a few X16R miners. I think there's only really one for AMD. There's quite a few for NVIDIA GPUs though. So to see what miners we're going to be dealing with, we're going to be doing this on NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. So let's head over to simplemine.net. Go to rig groups, add a group, and then we're going to be looking for X16R. There's quite a few for NVIDIA. You can see right here. There's RAVENCOIN miner, there's T-Rex, Nevermore, ZEnemy, and there's quite a few of them. But for AMD GPUs, there's really only one, and that's SGMiner. So let's go to ZEnemy. We're just going to highlight, we're going to select it because we want to get the name of it. And if you don't have the latest version of SimPleMining OS downloaded and imaged to the USB or SSD or whatever you're using, then this miner is probably not going to work. It'll give you a warning. It'll throw a warning up there like, hey, in order for this to work, you're going to have to update your image, right? So just keep that in mind. So for NVIDIA, we're going to be using ZEnemy. Just close that. For AMD, we're going to be using SGMiner. So now that we've collected most of our information that we need, let's go ahead and go into SimPleMining OS and add our groups. So you go to rig groups first, and then add a group. We know that we were going to use, let's do NVIDIA first. We're going to use ZEnemy. Choose select miner. We'll give it a name. We'll say NVIDIA ZEnemy. We're going to be using subscriber pool. Sounds good to me. All right. And then we need to get our miner options. The cool thing is that the pool has this little feature over here for going ahead and just generating your miner options for you. Now you have to leave off the actual miner name because you're not using this as an executable. You're using the executable within Simple Mining OS. So you have, all you need is this string that starts with the -A. Okay. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw our address, our receiving address, in here. And then we'll click generate. So that way we get the whole thing. And we just start right there with the -A. Copy the whole string. And we'll throw that into our documentation first. Remember, this is for NVIDIA. We're using the Z miner. Then we're going to go back to Simple Mining where we were setting up our miner. We're just going to highlight that, right click, paste, and we should be good to go. Just click add group. And remember, we named it NVDA. So I have a lot of options in here, but here it is right here. So now let's go to rig list. We're going to assign the only NVIDIA rig that I have to that group. And remember, we named it NVIDIA Z subpool. Miner's already installed and everything, and I don't really need to reboot, so I'll just leave it as reload. Save. Come over here and watch it restart. Looks pretty good so far. Once you start seeing these OKs for this particular miner, you should be good to go. Pretty decent hash rate there, I believe. All right, so now that means that we got our NVIDIA rig up and running on Mine Raven. So now let's go to AMD. Let's go back to rig groups. We're gonna click add group. And remember that SGMiner, I believe, is the only one in here that'll support X16R for AMD GPUs. We'll open that up, select miner, say AMD, SGMiner, subpool. Then we need to go and get our string. So we'll go back to subscriber pool, choose SGMiner, Raven, address, generate. And then just remember that we don't need that first part because this is the executable name and that's within smOS. So copy that, throw it in our documentation, save it so we don't lose it. Go back over to Simple Mining, paste it in there, click add group. Now we want to assign that to an AMD rig. So go back to rig list. I'll choose this one. This is a 11 GPU rig. Assign group. AMD SGMiner subpool. And then I'll just choose reload this time too. You see it's restarting or reloading. Go back to view the console. I wouldn't recommend using AMD GPUs to mine X16R. It just seems like it's way better suited for NVIDIA GPUs. So that's just my take on it. And I told you in the beginning that if you stuck with me till the end, I would give you a little smOS tip. So here it is. If you're using Etcher.io to flash smOS to a USB drive and you don't want the drive to disappear after flashing, just go to the Etcher.io tools and uncheck Eject on Success. That's it. Now when you flash a new smOS image to a USB, you'll be able to edit the config.txt file right away without having to unplug and reinsert the USB drive to get your system to see it. Having gone through this process again, I'm even more excited about Raven. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And thanks to everyone that's commenting, subscribing, and liking. You guys rock. I've picked up quite a few subs this past couple weeks, so let's keep it up. Keep on mining, and I'll see y'all next time.